Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing a special reading just for twin flames. For everyone else, soulmates, twin souls, general population, sorry. This message is just for twin flames, so just come back next week. I will be posting your weekly readings as normal, and that will be posted this weekend on Saturday or Sunday, so I'd love to have you come back then, and you'll have messages applicable for you at that time. Now, twin flames, you all get your own special reading because there is, as you know, a lot going on right now energetically. So what you're going to find in the reading is it is going to be primarily geared toward the big first wave of twins that are coming into union. Now, there have been some here and there, and some are starting to come into union because this is the point where that first wave is starting to come into union. Now, okay, so some of you are going to ask me questions. How do we know what wave we are? Okay. There are a number of different indicators, but primarily, if you are doing your spiritual mission, so if you have completed your healing work, you are fully awakened, opened, you're getting tons of, intuitive information, and that's both sides of the house, both feminine and masculine, but you're getting a ton of intuitive information. And you are doing your spiritual work. You may have a spiritual practice, a spiritual business. And for some, it may not be that you're doing readings, but you could be doing yoga. But for many, you could be doing energy healing. You could be doing readings. But you are fully engrossed in your spiritual work, and you are no longer focused 24/7 on what your twin is doing, where he's at, what's going on. But you're just focused. You're here. You're getting your mission done. You would be one of the first wavers, for the most part. Now, I know a lot of you are frustrated, particularly the divine feminine, because the timeline originally, the first wavers were intended to come into union last fall, winter time. But because of things that are out of control with the entire ascension of the whole planet, the whole earth, of which all of you are assisting with, and you are all bringing back that love, bringing back that light, you are helping awaken people. That actually is part of your mission. So for every twin flame, part of your mission is to go and to be in locations and to raise their vibration. You're meant to trigger people to start their awakening so that they can make this leap during this ascension that we're going through. And you are doing a very good job. Now, with that has been delays. And it's not just been delays with, twins coming into union, but it's been delays with everything in life. Like, some people, you've wanted to move. You've not been able to move. You wanted to change jobs. You've been delayed, one thing after another. You can't change. You can't take that leap. Take even me, for example, my retirement stuff. Things should have been really moving along and coming to a completion last year. Didn't happen. But everything is happening for a divine purpose, a divine reason. And if you look at it, for those of you that are still a little bit frustrated, take a little time, this week or next week, and sit down and think, okay, what is it that I was supposed to be doing? What is this? Why did I have this delay? Why aren't things happening as quickly as I like? Because if you can sit back and look at it objectively and think, okay, well, what was the purpose? What did this serve? So like for me, with my retirement stuff being delayed, one delay after another delay, I at one point sat back because I, like all of us out there, frustrated, especially when our intuitions turn up. We know exactly how things are going to play out. We know all the details of how it's going to play out. And we're like, okay, why isn't this happening? Similar thing. Why is this not happening? I sat down and had the aha of, I was meant to continue to be there because of the lives and the people that I was connecting with, to open them and help them with their awakening. And it's amazing to see the environment that I work in is what it was like 2 years ago compared to what it is now. I mean, I work in a predominantly male environment, military environment. I mean, when I came out that I had all the spiritual stuff opening up, you would think, one guy told me it was going to be career suicide for me to share that with people, but it's had the opposite effect. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me. They need insight. They need some information. They need help. They need a healing. But I'm totally surrounded. And, I travel and you go throughout the state and other places. But looking at it objectively, I wasn't meant to leave there yet because I was intended to continue to help those around me with their awakening process. and also to help those with the healing of the PTSD and the healing work that I do. But there was a bigger purpose and a bigger reason. When I saw that, it helped me kind of calm down and relax a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is all good. I will ride this out as long as you want me to, God. When it's time, you let me know. But that helped bring patience. So for some of you that are still in that state of frustration, really sit back and look, okay? Because there is a reason that things have been delayed. Now, collectively for all of us twins, this particularly first wave that was intended last year, there's nothing you did wrong. There's nothing you could have done to change things. Don't beat yourselves up, because especially some of you Divine Feminine, you're gonna be like, oh, well, if I would have done this and I would have done this. With this journey, everything is based off of divine timing. It is not in our control. It is in God's control. We have to let go. There's nothing you could have done to shift it or change it or make it happen faster. Everything's happening as it's intended to. But there were some things and some delays, and that's why just collectively as a group, this has been delayed for about a year. But we're coming there. And as you can tell with all these shifting energies, it's very intense. It is not going to let up. So this reading time frame, they're saying it's going to be from now through late September. It's probably around September 24th, 25th. But it's going to get, just when you thought it was intense, it's going to get even more intense. But that's good. That's going to cause, because a lot of you have had a number of things that you've just been waiting, like, when's this going to happen? And when am I going to move? When's my job going to change? When's this, going to be resolved with my ex? When am I going to be able to finally move forward with these things? You're going to notice that over this next month, 2 months, things are just going to start popping. They're going to start popping into place rapidly. It's going to be difficult for some of you to stay up and keep up. So we are going to do this reading to kind of help everybody, let you know what's in store for you, help you prepare, help you get ready, to help you kind of navigate through this as easily and calmly as possible, because it's going to, the time of transition is going to get even more intense for all of us. So, and knowing that I'm not exempt from this, I get to go through it just like everyone else with, going through my own transition stuff. Things are already popping left and right. Super busy with that. And although I would love to do personal private readings with all of you, I am not able to do that at this point. I'm still at a point of doing current clients, and even that I am backed up on. So I want to, and I was encouraged by the angels to at least do this reading for you. So at least I can provide some insight and help with this, because I know we're all going through it. It is very intense for all of us. So hang in there. It's going to be okay. It's going to get better. And if you're one of those first waivers, it's going to be really intense the next couple months. But then things are just going to start, all these things that you wanted, they're just going to boom, fall into place. And that's when things are going to get a little better and a little easier. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, I have prayed over all the cards, shuffled, asked that everyone gets, ask that everyone gets at least one message. You're going to get a lot of messages though. Okay. They're going to be doing an elaborate, going to be doing an elaborate spread. Okay. That they're still explaining as we go, so bear with me while they tell me what they want where. For those of you that are interested in the cards, I have a number of Doreen Virtues decks. So I've got her Fairy Tarot, I have her Romance Angels. At the end, we'll even pull an Angel Answer card. I have her Archangel Raphael deck. I have James Prawn's Power of Love, Sandra Ann Taylor's, which is this one up here, Energy Oracle cards, John Holland's Psychic Tarot. I have the Universal Wisdom deck, and I have also out my Lenormands and my Findus Sickles for clarifiers if and when we need those. Okay. And as I mentioned, I have prayed over them, shuffled them, also for the clarifiers, did the same thing. So this should provide some much needed insight for everyone. And we are going to fill up this table, so once I get them all put out, I'll take a look and make sure you can see them all. Hopefully everyone was able to make use of the full moon that we had yesterday. Hopefully I will get this posted tonight. It is Tuesday, so hopefully YouTube will cooperate and I will start this uploading process before I go to bed, and hopefully it will actually finish the process and not lock up like it did last week, so that you guys will have this tonight. And if so, and you were not able yet to make use of the full moon, you still will be able to. The full moons and new moons, they have the most intense energy for the first 48 hours afterwards. However, see if you guys can even, okay. They said I'm gonna have to shift them anyhow, so just wait till I throw them all out. Okay. So anyhow, full moons, new moons, they have the most intense energy. Okay, give me a second to finish. They keep going back to the fairy deck. All right. Okay, bear with me 1 minute. Good, we're finally done with the fairy deck. Yay! All right. Oh man, we're almost out of room. Okay. And last. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these positioned. So full moons, new moons, they have the most intense energy the first 48 hours. However, you still can, even if you're, past the 48 hours. So say you have some things that, you need to work on releasing. And you're like, oh, crud, Nicole, I didn't listen to your message until Thursday. And we were so far past the full moon at that point. I've missed my opportunity to release my anger or frustration or whatever it is that you need to release. It's okay. You can still do it. All you do is just pray and ask God and the angels to help you. And it doesn't matter when you do it. They will help you release those things. And you really do have full moon energy clear up until you hit the next new moon. So because, the moon is shrinking, hence the letting go of stuff. So really, even if you miss the full moon, pray, ask for help, ask that they help you release those things. They will do just that, and you'll be able to do it clear up until the new moon. You don't want to do releasing, though, after the new moon, because after the moon starts to grow, which is why you want to grow those things. You want to manifest those things. So if you are past a new moon, and now, not that it always works, because you can do some releasing. Obviously, we do healing sessions and stuff all times of the month, so, it's not going to stop you. But if you're wanting to do some, releasing ceremony, writing down a list and burning stuff, you don't want to do it after a new moon. Because what you're saying is, this anger, I want to pull some more of that. I want to grow some more of that. So, anyone listening to this message, if you still have some stuff to let go of, you've got just under 2 weeks to take care of that. Okay, let me make sure you guys can see these. Oh, we're real close. Move this over. Close enough for government work. We will take it. Okay. So let's see here. They're saying I should have flipped some of these upside down because you guys are going to try to figure it out ahead of time. But you won't be able to. Okay, so we have the masculine, we have the feminine. At the top we have the overall energy for this time frame for both. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start off, we will work our way down the feminine side first, and then make our way over to the masculine side. Okay, now what we have first is, this is the, I think you guys can see the yin yang clear enough, but this is the current energy for the divine feminine at this point. And this one, okay. So you have, actually before we get started, let's see if we have any repeater cards. Nope. Okay, 2 7s. So we've got a 7 and a 7. So 2 7s is a message about true love. It also can be a message about self-confidence issues causing us instability and problems within our relationship. Okay, that's the only repeaters we got. So Divine Feminine, your current energy, you have the yin yang, and this is all about, truly balancing our intuition and our logic, balancing our action and our receptivity. But you have, you've come into a place of balance. This is also about, cycles of things, because everything in life it goes in a cyclical pattern. And this is about, identifying the particular cycle that you're currently moving out of, and what's the cycle that you're moving into. What's the new beginning, the new cycle. And when you have the yin yang, the feminine masculine energy, it's really, you've got that yin, that masculine, that getting things done, action side. But for you, it's really talking about the things that are happening that you are not aware of, that you are not seeing, things that are happening, behind the scenes. Because for a number of you, you feel like, oh my gosh, things are not moving forward, and you're getting really frustrated. But there are things that are occurring that you're not aware of. So you just need to kind of let go and let God. Don't worry about it. Because things are happening, and you will know in the near future. But a lot of you, they're saying a lot of you actually have so many things going on right now that would cause you further stress. You don't need any more stress at this time. So let them take care of those things while you take care of you. Now, as far as the yang, that's the feminine. That's our intuitive side. That's our receiving. Because, as women, we receive our men. But being receptive, being open, listening to our intuition. And some of you right now are being pushed to go inside and really look, I was mentioning earlier, really look at, okay, what's the lesson? What's the purpose that this serves? So a number of you are actually being pushed to go inward and evaluate those things, and really being receptive, being observant, listening to the intuitive information that you're getting. Because a number of you, you're starting to doubt your intuition, because you're like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting and waiting, and these things still are not happening. They're still not coming to fruition. You become very, very frustrated, and almost feeling like it's like stalling you out, making you want to like throw in the towel because it's just taking forever. But trust your intuition, trust what you're getting. There's just things going on that you're not aware of right now. Now this is beautiful. The other card that you have, this is a major arcana. It's the sun. And at the bottom, we are losing daylight. Sun is going down here in Ohio, but hopefully I have enough lights on that you guys can see these. At the bottom, it says, plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations and gratitude for the blessings of life. And this is beautiful. He's like busting through that brick wall on his white horse. He's got this horn blazing. This is all about success. It talks about, success being yours. Really turning our face, see how he's facing up the sun? Turning your face up to the sun, opening up, receiving those gifts, receiving the new ideas. Be open to the blessings that you've prepared yourself for. And see how he's like all surrounded by these sunflowers? Sunflowers are all about happiness, joy. In this card, it's all about success, fulfillment, celebration. All of our dreams coming true, things happening. So feminine, you have come to a point where you are having tremendous success. And for a number of you, you're starting to see that you're breaking through those walls, those barriers, those things that have kept you stuck, have made you feel like, okay, things aren't moving forward, or this is another hurdle. This is another thing that's keeping me from getting the things that I desire, that's keeping me from having, my dreams come true. But you're seeing, so a number of you are about to bust that wall completely down. You're on the cusp of it. Now, breaking through that wall at this point is truly about being receptive, sitting back, being calm, reflecting. Because some of you, your frustration is creating some of the blocks. So if you can let that frustration go by looking at a big picture and just trusting your intuition, because Many of you are getting signs that the wall is chipping away and it's about to crumble down. Trust those signs. It's about to happen. Now, this is, what are your feelings toward the divine masculine at this time? Oh, let's make sure we're not knocking the camera down. Okay. Now you have 2 cards. You have You Deserve Love, and you also have Move. Wow, you have a lot of major arcanas. It's funny because feminine, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas, and masculine has no major arcanas. Essentially what that means, for those of you that are new to Tarot, which is not many of you, when it comes to Tarot, the major arcanas, these are things that are destined, that are fated, that are out of our control. They're also huge milestones, big events in life, huge things. Whereas the minor, or the pip cards, as they're referred to, those are things that we have more control over. We feel like we're in the driver's seat when it comes to those. When it comes to the majors, we don't feel like we have any control at all. We're just trying to hold on for dear life so we don't get into an accident along the way. So ladies, that is where you are at. You are just holding on for dear life, but it's okay. Hold on, because you're about to come to a safe landing. If you're flying and you're going through a ton of turbulence, and the plane's dropping multiple feet, and then it stabilizes out, and then it's dropping it, and you think, oh my gosh, this thing is going to crash. Oh my gosh, it's going to go down, we're going to die. I really wanted to say goodbye to my family and tell them I love them. But no matter how turbulent it is, you may be dropping out of the skies, you may be having the wings tip, you may think it's all over. It is over, it is done, this is finished. But then right as you come in for the landing, seconds beforehand, no matter how bad the weather is, those wings will stabilize out, and then there's like a calm right before you touch down. Now, you may have to touch down quickly, depending upon if there's snow or ice, but you still will have the wings stabilized. There will be very brief calm right before it touches down. That's where you're at right now. You are just bopping through some turbulence. You are trying to hold on because this stuff, these changes, this transformation, you are destined for it, and you have no control over it. So just enjoy the ride. And this is major arcana. It is Move. And in traditional Tarot, this would be the Chariot. And the Chariot moves things forward, drives things forward. This card is all about, victory, willpower, control. In this deck, it's really about effort, mastery, discipline, being proactive, taking action, helping, be the master of our own destiny. Helping create the things. Now you see you've got these 2 hands suspended underneath this heart. They're tied together by this ribbon, and they have these energy swirls coming up from them. This is also focusing on your needs, as well as the needs of your partner, making effort, setting healthy boundaries, respecting boundaries, looking at things to see if things are off balance. Because you see both hands are tied in there. It needs to be balanced. It needs to be equal effort. Are both partners putting in the equal effort? Are they both trying? Because in any relationship, not just love, if you have one person that's putting in more than the other, at some point there will be frustration, there will be resentment, there will be anger. And that is where you ladies have found yourselves. Because... And again, this is how you're feeling toward the masculine at this time. So a number of you have just been feeling like, okay, I have been putting it in. This flight has gotten so darn bumpy, I think I just want to grab a parachute and jump out the side. Because you feel like it's one-sided. And it has been. But it has been because with the twin flame journey, this is a process. You both have to release all this junk, all this stuff that's not good for you. Exes, lovers, friends, partners, even some family members. But you have to release the things that aren't good for you. You have to go through a lot of healing. It requires tremendous change. And you had a jump start on the masculine. So you are well into your healing, your releasing, your transformation, your opening up to your intuition. And he was still just enjoying life like it normally was. But now he's catching up with you. So the stuff that you had to start going through 3-4 years ago, he's now going through. He's about to catch up. But a number of you are feeling as though this is one-sided. this isn't going anywhere. This is not moving forward. And they are congratulating you because you deserve love. And at the bottom it says you are lovable. And this card is all about, knowing that you're worthy of love, knowing your value, knowing that you deserve kindness and love and respect, and a relationship that's mutually beneficial, that you are also giving that to yourself. And that, it also talks about, releasing past experiences, past hurts, past things that have made us feel that we are not worthy of love, that we are not deserving of love. And you have successfully healed yourselves. It's been turbulent because we all have a lot of things to release in order to feel worthy of love, and also to overcome fears of abandonment, because for most of you, there's both sides of the house. You both have had to overcome feelings that you're not worthy of love, you're not deserving, you're not adequate enough. You have both had to also overcome fear of abandonment. Fear of, okay, well, what if I do give to them and they don't give back? And for some of the feminine, that has been a trigger for you at times. But they again are congratulating you because you have done so much healing early on in the process. It was a huge trigger for you. It's not as much because you now have come to a state of loving yourself. But the thing is, because again, this is talking about how you're feeling about the masculine. You're feeling like, okay, I deserve your love now. I deserve this connection. I deserve us to have this union, to be supportive of each other, to be loving of each other. And you see how these, the lights swirling? It's almost like energy. When twin flames come together, their energies merge and they spiral up. It's interesting because when I do healing work on twin flames, there's always typically it's 2 to 3 sessions that's just for the client that I'm working on, healing stuff from their past lives to bring them to a state of loving themselves. Cool things with twins, which is why the masculine will catch up so quickly. Whatever is done for one is done for both. It heals for both. But what happens is that final session, it's always 1, 2 plus lifetimes that they have shared together where they have hurt each other, which is why they energetically push each other away, because they deep down have a fear. So say they were siblings and he saw her be raped by someone. Maybe there was a group of people and he couldn't do anything to protect her. So what happens in this lifetime is she fears that he won't be there for her, that she'll be left alone. It brings up that core of abandonment. And then on his perspective, he fears that he won't be able to protect her. He fears that because he can't do that, she'll be hurt again. So what it does in this lifetime is it pushes each other away. But the interesting thing is every time finish that last final session, Jesus always comes in. And depending upon what the person's mission is, with all twin flames, he comes in and he does like this vow renewal. It's kind of like a marriage ceremony between the two. And then depending upon what their mission is, he may then at that point do this divine crowning ceremony for the masculine. But when he finishes whatever's going to be done for that twin flame couple, their energies merge and they spiral together like DNA. And it's a beautiful thing. But you're beginning to feel like this just isn't going to happen. See how she's got her arrow pointed the opposite direction, not facing him? Some of you are at the point that you're like, okay, I guess it's time for me to go take Cupid and put this arrow of love towards someone else, because it's not being reciprocated here, because I don't feel that he loves me, because I don't feel that he wants to have this, because I feel like it's never going to happen. And I feel that I deserve better, because for some of you, you're seeing him share his love with others. Or for some of you, it's not even other people, but it is not communicating, not speaking, pushing you away. And you've come to the point that you're ready for this. You're ready for the two of you come together. You know that this is the love of a lifetime. This is what everyone dreams of and wants. But you're feeling like it's time for you to move on. And they are congratulating you because you have done so much healing. You're not feeling like you have been rejected, like you're not loved, which is huge. That's huge, because in the past, many of you would have felt like you're not deserving of love. Like, why am I not good enough? What's wrong with me? But you now know nothing's wrong with you. You know that you're amazing. You know that you're worthy of great love. But you have no patience, is what they're saying. You've run out of patience. You just need to have a little bit more patience, that's all. Okay. Now, this is what is blocking you from union. And did I say that we're using Sherlock Holmes? We're using Sherlock Holmes cards as well. So here we have the 8, and this is all about, this guy's standing outside the office, and he really needs to go in. He needs to get some insight, some information from Sherlock Holmes. He really needs his help, but he's shaking in his boots about having a conversation. And there's no clarity. See how there's like these clouds all around him? It's about lack of clarity. But this is all about looking for help, reconsidering our options, considering abandoning our plans, considering going in a different direction. Withdrawal of our love, withdrawal of our emotions, withdrawal of our desire, being fearful, needing to also evaluate things from a different perspective, looking at it from a different angle. So what's blocking you is, they were saying she has her arrow pointing the opposite direction, so that some of you're just so frustrated. You really are thinking about moving on, like completely moving on, finding someone else, being completely done with this, raising the white flag. I surrender. I'm over it. I can't go through this pain anymore. I can't do this anymore. But because you're in that mindset, that is creating a block for you. Because in order to cross that bridge, the interesting thing is you have a hydration card. And at the bottom of it, it's, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating and guiding me to drink more water so that my health, energy, and appetite stay at optimal levels throughout each day. And you see, the angel, she's standing on a bridge. Now, for some of you, you may need to drink more water, because with all the energies that we're going through right now, some of you are having blocks. So when your chakras get blocked, some of you are having stomach pain, some of you are having headaches, some of you are having cramping. It's because the energy flow is blocked, because you're not drinking enough water, because we are going through this influx of energy at this time. And not only just us as twins, but the entire collective. If you Google, go out and do some research. So the earth has a heartbeat. It's called resonance. So if you go out and look for the earth's resonance, essentially it's like the energy pulse that the earth has. And what you'll find when you read the articles is that over recent years, the resonance has drastically increased. That's because there's an increase of energy flowing through all of us. It's because of this ascension that we are all going through. But it causes physical things, particularly when you are a twin flame and you have spiritual gifts that have been opened up by the divine for you to use to help heal people. You are going to feel it even more than other people. If you are not getting enough water, it's going to cause you health problems. It's going to cause pain. It's going to cause headaches. So some of you do need to just start drinking water. More water, they're saying, to get that energy flowing, cleansing things out, removing your toxins. But what's blocking you from you see how she's like standing on this bridge? In order to walk across the bridge, in order to clear the bridge. So when we drink water, it helps with our energy flow. It helps increase our energy. It helps give us that vitality that we need. A number of you are lacking the vitality. You're lacking the energy to go on. You're like, I don't have the energy to do this anymore. I cannot go through this any longer. Because you are having those thoughts of doubt, and also just frustration, because some of you, you're like, I am over this. I can't go through this anymore. You've surpassed the point of where you're constant, but some of you do still think about it. So it's but instead of thinking, so some of you, it used to be, they're saying it was constant, when's it going to happen? How's it going to happen? Almost like obsession about wondering when and how, why, and you've cleared that. They're glad. They're, again, congratulating you, because that was all a result of your healing work. But where you're at now in your thought process is you're constantly thinking, okay, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to let go. How do I let them go? Because with twins, you can't let each other go. You are the same soul. You are each other's truly other half. It's amazing when I do readings and such for clients and I get to tell them that they're twins. It also works for twin souls. But because I can walk them through a physical exercise that will give them physical, I don't even tell them that they're twins until I walk them through this exercise that will give them physical confirmation that they are indeed a twin flame and that other person is their twin, their other half. And it's just amazing because every time they just squeal with delight, like, what in the world happened? But it's a beautiful thing. Twins are each other's other half. You're never going to get rid of each other. The connection's never going to break. You're always going to have unconditional love for each other. That's the beauty of this connection. That's the beauty of this gift from God. It really is a gift. Doesn't feel like it all the time, but it is. Where you are at now in your thought process is you're just like, I don't have the energy anymore. I can't continue to do this on my own. This is breaking my heart. It's just breaking me. It's breaking my soul. Because some of you just feel like, they're saying for some of you, it's hard to even go through your daily motions because you're just like, some of you, they're saying it's almost like even you've doubted, like, did I get this wrong? Was I totally wrong with this? Did I make this all up in my mind? But you didn't. You need to increase your energy. You need to increase your commitment. You have to increase your faith. You have to come back to a place of trust, a place of love. But you also just have to be in the moment. And they're saying it's really raising your vibration because as you raise your vibration back to a place of trust and hope and faith and optimism, that's going to help things move along. That's going to help you cross that bridge. Now, as far as lessons being learned at this time, and by this time I mean now through the end of September, you have Major Arcana, the Emperor. And at the bottom it says, use logic and structure to increase your success, get organized, a firm but compassionate leader. And this is all about, our dreams coming true. In order to have our dreams come true, we have to be like the Emperor. We have to be focused. We have to be passionate. We have to think things through. We have to be solid leaders. We have to be organized. We have to be methodical. We have to put together plans. We have to devise our plans, our action steps, and we have to take those action steps. We have to be careful that we're not so caught up in emotion or excitement that we forget to focus on the details. We forget to actually get our nose to the grindstone and get stuff done. We have to prepare. We have to be, a few steps ahead of everything. We do have to be logical. We can't be stuck in our heart and our emotions all the time. We have to balance daily life. We have to balance our responsibilities. We have to take responsibility. Now you see here, he's got a heart on one hand, he's got the globe on the other. That really is balancing out the two. I mean, you've got the world at your hands. You've got the love of a lifetime in your hands. The Emperor became the Emperor because he is compassionate for everyone around him. He shows compassion with his decision making. He's fair, he's balanced. But the concerns of the people around him, that's his worry. He wants to make sure they're okay, they're safe, they're provided, they're cared for. He's going to make a well thought through decision. It's not going to be just based totally on emotion. For some of you, you know how your thoughts now have been overwhelmed with, fear and thinking you made the wrong choice. And for some of you, it is making it difficult for you to do daily things. Your lesson that you are needing to learn at this time is to be in balance. Balance. Come a little bit away from the emotional side and come to the logical side. And for some of you, they're saying you actually need to be the opposite. You need to come a little bit from the logical side and to a little bit more of love. Because for some of you, you've gotten to the point that, logical mind, I'm not hearing from him, I'm not seeing him, he's dating, he's with an ex, totally dropped all communication with me. Logical mind says, it's done, I'm looking at things as they are and pressing on. You need to trust your heart, you need to trust your intuition. This is, again, balance of that yin and yang, feminine and masculine. Whichever side you're on, take the time to sit down and evaluate. Bring yourself back into balance. You also need to bring yourself back into balance because a number of you need to be focusing on your mission. When you are focused on your mission and doing what you're here to do to serve humanity, to help humanity, and the interesting thing is when you look at the Emperor above his head, I don't know if you guys can see it. Like there's this rose-shaped window above his head. That represents 12 disciples that were with Jesus. And it's a rose. And the rose is, it's all about heart. When you are focused on your mission, your spiritual work that you're here to do, and you're doing that, and you're not worried about daily, when am I going to hear from, what's going to happen, I made the wrong choice. But when you're always being in a state of unconditional love for him, knowing that you will come together when the time is right, and just doing what you're here to do, loving people, helping humanity, helping people grow, helping people heal, helping people awaken, doing what you're here to do, you'll come together. You block that when you start fretting and worrying and obsessing. You also block other areas as well. You find that if you stop worrying and fretting and obsessing and just focus on getting things done, focus on doing what you're here to do. For those of you that still have healing to do, because again, this is primarily geared toward the first wave that's coming into union. But for those of you, focus on your healing. Get yourselves ready. But if you're focusing on those things, this will all come together. It will come together when the time is right. Now, as far as what is unknown to you, you have Major Arcana Release, number 13. And at the bottom, it says, let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities, time to move on. And this is really, truly learning from the past, moving forward from things that have held us back. And in all relationships, in all areas as well, career, family, health, work. But, because if we have a block in our personal life, it can often tend to block all, like they were mentioning earlier. If you've got a block in one area, it will block you in all other areas of life. So you have to let that block go, release that thing, in order to welcome new changes, new opportunities. It's also, an ending, a transformation, a completion, a culmination. So, what you're unaware of is that you need to see how she's sitting here on the bench. Actually, that's interesting. The weekly reading, they were talking about red, white, and blue. Now they were saying patriotism. I think they were saying patriotism. Okay, yeah. So they were saying patriotism with this weekly reading. But they're bringing up the red, white, and blue again. There's significance to red, white, and blue if you do some research on Jesus and Mother Mary. They were often depicted wearing red and blue. Sometimes they would have white. The white signifies purity, the Holy Spirit. The blue represents being in the heavens. And the red represents blood, humanity. And what you'll often find is that Mother Mary, she was cloaked. She would wear a robe that was blue, but her dress underneath would be red. And it would symbolize that, she was a very spiritual, heavenly connected person, but underneath, she was human. She was of blood. She was of flesh. Whereas Jesus, it was the opposite. Jesus would be cloaked in red, but underneath, he would be wearing blue. And for him, it was representing that although he is of a human, he's walking among humans, at a soul level, he is from the heavens. He is the Son of God. He's that part of that Trinity. And you see how she has these lights above her. You need to remember that you are divinely connected, that you're connected to the divine. You also need to remember that the two of you are perfect complements of each other. Not that Mother Mary and Jesus were mother, son, but even their garments, like when you look at how they're adorned, one is red, blue, flipped, the other, you guys are the opposite of each other. You are each other's perfect complement. You are each other's other half. You need to release the feelings that have made you forget that, because they're pointing out the peacock, and peacocks, you know, the males are always more brightly colored than the ladies. But there have been some things that have occurred between you and the masculine. Some things done out of vanity, some things done out of arrogance, some things said, some things done. You are having a difficult time releasing that. But what is unknown to you is that by remembering your connection, by remembering that you guys are divine complements of each other, you truly are each other's other half. And remembering that no matter what was said, no matter what transpired, if you can release those emotions, if you can release that hurt, if you can forgive and forget, that will remove your blocks. Because a number of you, the reason you're contemplating moving on is because you're hurt. You're hurt. You're feeling like you're the only one feeling this connection. You're feeling like this is one-sided. But energetically, because you are one, because you are connected to the divine, the second you put up a block, which is what you have done because you have been hurt, you put up a block, he's going to put up a block as well, because you're complete mirrors of each other. But if you can forgive those hurts, forgive that pain, forgive those emotions, then you will be able to move forward. You'll find, you know, you'll hear from him, but not just from him, but you. And now he is going to be part of it, but you'll find that things are going to start to move forward in all areas of your life. Because again, this block is affecting you in other areas. Now let's see. Let's see if they'll give us any specifics on anything else you're supposed to release. Community, toil and labor, and child. Okay. Actually, we'll do them one at a time. Now, community, it really is all about, you know, community is, you know, it's, Allie, get down. She always wants to join us. But really, it's all about community, friends, family, support, being surrounded by people who understand us. If you look at almost like this is a husband and wife and their child, but being where you belong, finding a place that feels like home, harmonious relationships, being with people where you feel a connection, where you feel as though you are with people who are of like mind. And you felt that with your twin. Now, the next one we have is, okay, toil and labor. And you see here, she's working on this mechanical loom, probably making a rug, but it's very tedious. And back in the 19th century when they would do these, they would work very long, hard, tedious hours. And it's just brutal. They feared losing fingers. They feared losing a hand. They felt as though this labor, it was going nowhere. There was no hope for advancement. No hope for promotion, no getting any further along. But it was thankless, and it was a huge burden, and it felt like a chore and an obligation. And for some, no matter what good intentions were, they would feel like, you know, they're being punished. You know, like I had good intentions, and I feel like I'm being punished with this. Because I'm giving everything that I have, blood, sweat, and tears, to no end. And then you have child. And this is, you know, it represents obviously a child. Could be a child. But it's really about, you know, innocence and new beginnings, new starts, something fresh, something cherished. So in order to have a new beginning, because again, this is what's unknown to you, you found your other half. You found where you belonged. You found your counterpart. But you felt like it's been nothing but work, and you felt like you've been working alone by yourself this whole time. Feeling underappreciated, feeling unvalued. But you have to release those feelings, because for some of you resentment, anger. I mean, even if it's not like I'm angry at him, there's still those core feelings of, you know, how could he treat me like this? How does he not feel this connection? How could he not want this? Why do I feel like I'm the only one putting in work? Why do I feel like I'm the only one that cares? But you have to release those feelings in order to have the new beginning. Okay, now last we have 2 cards, and these are all about, you know, what they recommend you do. And we have Music of the Spheres, and this is about entering a new period, a new time, a new cycle of, you know, positivity, a fertile time that's going to be filled with, you know, fulfillment, inspiration, and happiness, and those things that we desire. And also a time of, you see the moon is like behind her. The moon talks about, you know, just like this information is the unknown, the things that we are not aware of, things that are hidden. So many of you just need to trust that you are going to have those blanks filled in. You are going to get that information very soon. And for many of you, you are actually going to be receiving this during this time frame, within the next month to 6-7 weeks. But even though the journey's been difficult, it's been hard, painful, this new phase is about to begin. And they're also congratulating, because the moon represents intuition, that inner knowing, that inner guidance. And in a lot of you, you've come to a whole new level. And he's about to join you. But you need to relax. You need to know that there are things that you aren't aware of. There are things that are occurring that you also don't know about, that you're not aware of. Things are coming together. You don't know all the details, but you don't need to know all the details, because God and angels are taking care of it. You just need to lay back, enjoy your sexiness, take care of your business, and know that everything will come to light when it's meant to. And the other thing is present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. Okay. Are you going to be quiet? So it's dark here, and I have French doors out onto my deck, and she sees her reflection, and apparently she doesn't think she looks so lovely today. If she barks, I'm going to have to pause this and do a little editing and merge the 2 videos together to go close the curtains. But ladies, be in the present, be in the moment. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Don't keep thinking back with regret and sadness about what did happen. Use this full moon energy that we are still underneath if you have any of those feelings. So release those things, let those things go. Even if you think, well, no, because I'm not angry with him. And those of you that are this first wave, you're really not going to have feelings of true anger, but there are going to be underlying blocks. So if you're one of those people that you're like, you know what, trying to decide about moving on, I've misread this, there are some underlying feelings that you need to release. And if you're at this point in the journey, it's not difficult for you to release that. Really just write a list, pray, ask God and the angels and Jesus help you release that, and then burn it and let it go. And just be in the present and know that it's going to happen when it's meant to. And just have trust, have faith. They'll take care of the rest. And they are taking care of the rest. Now, for the masculine, we have broken heart. And you can see that you have this heart it's cracked down the middle, and there's this teardrop coming out of the bottom. And this is really all about sadness, grief, loss, despair. You know, really having our heart broken open, showing our emptiness and our sadness. It's also about having to undergo a deep healing our heart, which could include venting our feelings, sharing our feelings, releasing the person that's involved, claiming our power, taking back our power, finding some peace and comfort, opening up our heart to healing. Because for some masculine, someone broke your heart, But in the process of breaking your heart, they made you doubt yourself. They made you question yourself. They made you feel as though you weren't worthy. They made you feel as though you were not good enough. You were not competent. You were not capable. You were a bad husband. You were a bad provider, a bad boyfriend, a bad lover. But that's not you. That was what your ex, with their own things that they need to heal and fix, they were just projecting their stuff on you. So for a number of you, you have started going through the healing process, but you're not finished yet. So you need to focus on finishing your healing work so that your heart is healed and you can move forward. And part of that healing work is being loving and kind and compassionate to yourself and taking care of yourself, focusing on you, not everyone else. Because they're saying for a number of you that the thing that's holding you back is not doing this healing work. Delaying it. There's not barriers, distractions. You have distractions. Now the next card you have, and this is reversed, but I'm going to hold it upright so you can see the graphics, is 3 of Summer. And this at the bottom says, news worth celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduations, or births. If you don't have a glare, I have a glare. When I have no glare, you do. Okay. And then friends you cherish. And this really is, it's about weddings, it's about celebrations, it's about, family, it's about joy, it's about bliss. Now, sometimes this can talk about, multiple parties involved in a relationship. But in reverse, a number of you are going through divorce. You had a marriage that has fallen apart. Or if it wasn't a marriage, it was someone that you were in a very long-term commitment with. Someone that some of you wanted to marry. That you were hoping for. But it didn't work out. It did not come to fruition because it was not meant to. Now, for some of you, what you're doing, they were talking about the distractions. So for some of you, you have thrown yourselves into partying, or you've thrown yourselves into drinking. Because traditional tarot, this is cups. So for some of you, you have thrown yourselves into drinking. Some of you, you've thrown yourself into rebounds, multiple relationships, multiple dating. But these are distractions that are keeping you from healing your heart. These are distractions that are keeping you from releasing that person who hurt you, who broke your heart. But they're also distractions that are keeping you from moving forward and getting the things that you desire, because what you had envisioned would fulfill your hopes and dreams wasn't meant to be. You're destined for something greater. But to get there, it does require completing this healing of your heart. Now, as far as how you are feeling toward the divine feminine, we have challenging times. And this is all about, now traditional tarot, this would be wands, fire. And it can talk about, taking on too much at one time, conflicts, challenge, allowing our ego to get in the way. Because the human ego, it's good if we need something to keep us on task, to give us a purpose, to give us something that, we feel like we're accomplishing. However, if the ego's too involved, it'll cause tension, it'll cause problems, it'll cause disagreements, it will cause conflicts and issues. So for a number of you, you're needing to sit back and take a look. Okay, what's really going on with this conflict? What's really the core root issue here? Why do I really have this block? Because you see, he's got like the clouds behind him, which signify not having clarity, not knowing everything. He even has like this like helmet on that's all metal, like he's got this light illuminating. So for a number of you, they're trying to awaken you. They're trying to bring you aha and epiphanies, but it's like you are purposefully ignoring it. You are blocking it. You're like, okay, I know that's the divine path I'm supposed to be on, but I refuse to accept that. Even though it's better, even though it's great. I don't want to see it. I don't want to accept it. Instead, you've put up your wall. He's like holding the shield. You've put up this barrier. And this card's also, when there is competition or arguments or strife, that in order to avoid that, it's best that we think things through first. Before we speak, before we act, before we take steps that are going to cause conflict, strife, hurt feelings, we think that through. And we look at it from a perspective of coming from honesty, love, compassion, versus defensiveness. So this is talking about your feelings for the divine feminine. I'm going to marry that up in just 1 second, because you have let go of control issues. We're going to tie that to the little helmet here in a second. At the bottom of let go of control issues, it says, allow this situation to unfold naturally. And this card's all about, when we pray and we're like, okay, God, I'm ready to share my life with someone. I'm ready to be in a relationship that is mutually beneficial, that is requited love, that is filled with trust, honesty, passion, joy. That's what I want. That's what I desire. So if you can bring that to me, that'd be great. They've heard your prayers. Your prayers have been heard. They're trying to bring you everything that you've asked for, but it's not going to come to you in the person that you thought it was going to come to you in. And some of you are just downright pissed about that, is what they're saying. And that's why you're trying to control things, and you're frustrated, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, they didn't even hear my prayers. I was praying. I wanted the love of a lifetime. I wanted this dream boat. I thought it was her. She's now left me. We're going through divorce. We're going through breakup, and I can sense there's something with this divine feminine, but that's not what I had in mind. But they want you to know. You see how these angels are all hovering above him? They've heard your prayers. They are answering your prayers. The answers though are different than what you've expected. But you have to open your mind to that. You have to open up to the possibilities. You have to not be so defensive, because you see how he's sitting here and he's just leaning back, kind of like glaring at this woman or child. That's where a number of you are at this point, because it marries up to, you see he's got these trees behind him. So a number of you felt like you had to climb a mountain with this ex of yours. Like, oh, it was a battle. I put in a lot of work. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's where I thought, some of you thought you were going to get married, or you were married, but that's the one that you thought you were going to be with. But God has something better. You have to let that person go. And this is, again, how you're feeling about the divine feminine. A number of you, because things didn't work out with your ex, you're totally blocked and shielded. They're bringing you this divine light, this divine gift. Let's see if you can see it that way. There's this divine gift coming from the heavens. It's your twin. It's your other half. But you've caused conflict and arguments. You've put up a wall. You've put up a barrier. You have completely blocked yourself. You see how he's covered and surrounded in darkness? You've not wanted to hear the truth. You've not wanted to see the truth. You have disconnected. Because that wasn't what you expected. But it's better than what you wanted. So right now you're still feeling totally closed off from the feminine. Most of you are not even talking. They're saying most of you, that barrier, that shield that you put around, you've stopped all communications with her. Some of you, you've blocked her on your phone, you've blocked her on social media, you've blocked her in your emails. You've just completely blocked all that. But what this let go of control issues is, you have to let them answer your prayers. The way they're answering is different than what you thought, but you're blocking your dreams from coming true. You're blocking it. And you're blocking it because you're blocking your twin. You're blocking her. And they're saying how they're saying for the divine feminine earlier that there's things that she wasn't aware of. There are things that you are not aware of. But they're saying for some of you, it's almost like you Your mindset is so locked that you don't even care to hear anyone else's perspective. You are so closed mind, almost to, not sound negative masculine, but it's like some of you are just so stubborn. You're hurting yourselves. You're blocking yourselves from love. Help them help you. Help them help you. Now, as far as what is blocking you from union, you have Inspector, and in traditional tarot, this would be a king. And this Inspector Stanley Hopkins, he was being mentored. He really looked up to Holmes. He was very, young, alert, enthusiastic, very good at what he did. Here he's apprehending a criminal. But this card, it's all about a giver of justice, someone that can cut through the matter of the heart. Someone that's impartial, someone that's a moral leader. Knowledge and research that's of the highest quality. Not just taking any bit of information, but truly digging in. Having a clear perspective. Having principled discernment. Perceiving the truth of the situation. Really getting to the core of it. Being totally impartial. Being just. Also self-analysis. And with that, you have the card Children. And at the bottom it says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me to help children. Now this card can be about children. But this card's also about, children, they're very innocent. They are filled with faith. They are filled with faith and fairness. They're very trusting. They're filled with awe. Like they look at things for like the first time and just total awe and admiration. They're filled with innocence. They're very playful. They find the joy in little things. They don't worry about stuff. They really just enjoy life. Again, this is what's blocking you from union, what's blocking you from love, and those things that you dream, that you've been praying for, which you will find with her. You're not going to find it with your ex, no matter how hard you fight it. Which for a number of you, they're saying that you have been fighting it for so long that you have tremendous blocks in all other areas of your life. So for some of you, you've been trying to change jobs, and it's just not happening. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because they're trying to get you to focus on these blocks, these things. Because, again, like mentioning with the Divine Feminine earlier, one block in one area, particularly with something as big as this, in Twin Flames, it is big. You are here to do things to help humanity. That needs to be your focus. They're trying to free you of those things from the past. But if you're blocked in one area, it's going to block all other areas. So for some of you, you aren't able to change jobs. For some of you, you've been wanting to move. For some of you, you're going through some legal stuff. And it just seems like it's not moving either. You just feel like, oh my gosh, everything has come to a standstill. Well, it has. You have brought it to a standstill because you have dug your feet in. In this instance, this is talking about what is blocking you from coming into union with your Divine Feminine. You are not looking at the truth. You are not accepting the truth. Just like here, you're just standing there with a shield and you're totally blocking your head. You're like, I don't care what God and the angels are telling me. I don't care about this divine. I'm just going to stand here on my own, sad and in darkness. But for some of you, that block and the reason you're closed off is something pertaining to children. And children between the two of you. Not children from other marriages or other relationships, but children that the two of you have, or pregnancies. So for some of you, that's blocking you. But for others of you, it's not really looking at the truth and facts pertaining to her, which again, because you see how he's like closed off and he's looking in her direction. So for those of you, you're just closed off because you're like, no, I am not going to open up to this. I'm not going to accept her. I'm not going to accept this. but you're not wanting to see the truth of things. You're not even opening up to her vantage point. You're totally closed off. You're not seeing the truth of things. You're not analyzing things. And for some of you, that this ex that broke your heart, you're not even looking at that clearly. You're closed off with even truly looking at the truth and facts of that situation. Because again, for some of you, it's like you're so stubbornly stuck, like you were like, I'm going to, no matter what, make this work. It wasn't meant to work. You don't even want to see the facts and truth about that. But that's what's blocking you. It's what's blocking you from finding love. It's what's blocking you from having this family. Because they're saying for a number of you, you've wanted a family most of your life. Family is something that you value greatly. You have wanted that. You have the opportunity for that. But you are letting it slip through your fingers because it's not what you envisioned. It's better than what you envisioned. But you refuse to take off this helmet. You refuse to put down the shield. You refuse to open up and accept it. That is why you are blocked in all other areas. They're trying to help you get unblocked. But in order to do that, you need to open up. You need to open up to love. You need to open up these blessings and things that they have for you. This is the card that talks about what are the lessons that you are supposed to be learning at this time between now and the end of September. And you have Ace of Summer. And at the bottom it says, open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. This speaks of a very rewarding and joyful relationship. It's requited love. In traditional tarot, this would be cups. But it's about new intimacy, a new love, a new relationship that will fulfill you. It will fulfill you emotionally. But in order to have that fulfillment, that you have to open your heart to love. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you're worthy of love. And you have been going through a spiritual awakening. And some of you, that's why you've been thrown off kilter. Because with this spiritual awakening has come so many changes in your life that you don't like things that you used to like. You're going through sicknesses and illnesses that just don't make sense. They don't add up. You're more connected to your emotions than you've been, for some of you, most of your life. And it's throwing you off kilter. And some of you are like, oh no, I need to put on the brakes. And the part of you, that's why because you know that there's the connection between you and the divine feminine is all part of this awakening. But what you need to learn is you need to open up. You need to put down the shield, take off the helmet. Trust. See how she has her arms open wide? What you need to learn between now and the end of September is it's time to open up to love. It's time to open up to your divine feminine. And some of you also haven't opened up because you're fearful that it's going to end up in heartbreak like it has with your ex. So for some of you, you still have a broken heart from, something that happened years ago between you and an ex. And so now you're like, okay, I feel this could be the love of a lifetime, but what happens if I open up and I get burnt? You won't know unless you open up. And you have had so many signs and synchronicities from the divine because, again, God, the heavens are shining a light down on you. They're trying to awaken you. They're trying to share the truth with you. They're trying to get you onto the right path. They're trying to bring you to divine love. You've had so many obnoxious signs that there is no denying this connection. And they're saying a number of you have gotten that message. You know that the two of you are meant to be together. You've known that for a very long time. You just refuse to take any action on it. You haven't let your guard down. You haven't opened up your heart. What you need to do now is open up your heart. Open up to that. Lily pads represent sexuality, fertility, creation. You have the opportunity to create a love of a lifetime. And doves, you've got this massive, I hope you guys can see that. You've got this massive white dove there. And doves are, they represent motherhood, like Mother Mary. It's all about care and purity and devotion and peace. But doves also, they mate for life. And white represents, of course, the Holy Spirit. But it also represents new beginnings, luck, fidelity, love, and prosperity. Everything to fulfill your heart's desires you have within reach. You just have to open up your arms and reach out and accept it. You just need to accept this gift. To stop keeping yourself imprisoned. The hard work's done. And for a number of you, they're saying for a number of you, you are just at the completion of healing your heart. But you're afraid that if you open up, it will blow up like things did with your ex. But you have to trust. That's your lesson that you have to learn. And by lesson, that's what you need to be doing between now and the end of September. You need to know that it's safe to trust, it's safe to love, it's safe to open up. Offer your cup of love, because you will be offered a cup of love in return. Now, as far as what is unknown to you, you have the Seven of Autumn. And at the bottom, it says, have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. A prudent investment of time or money. And you see how he's just sitting on top of this pumpkin, munching on an apple. This is really about, the best treasures and things in life. They take time. They take time. Like he's just sitting there waiting patiently for his crops to mature. Just enjoying while they continue to grow. But it's talking about, don't give up hope. Don't give up faith. Your fruit will ripen on the vine. You will receive the things that you desire. Things are moving forward. They're moving forward slowly. And some of you are getting a little frustrated with that. But your harvest is going to come in. You are going to have success. You just need to be patient. Give it a little bit more time. See, he's sitting on this massive pumpkin, but behind him there's a bunch of little smaller ones. He's just waiting for them to finish their growth. But while he's doing it, he's thinking about all the success he's had so far. He's thinking about other improvements and areas of adjustments that he can make in the future, the next time around. How he can improve his harvest next time. But it's also not worrying. Don't worry, because your harvest is coming in. Being diligent, being patient. Just knowing that you are going to get the things that you desire. It's just taking a little bit of time. Now, for some of you, it's tied to the ex. It's tied to that broken heart. So for some of you, you're waiting for like the divorce proceedings, things to wrap up. Let's do, no, we'll do these, okay. Let's do quick clarifiers. We've got the mature woman, family room, and the lovers. Okay, now, it's kind of interesting because these cards are kind of like the Lenormands and how they play with each other. The first card that you have is the mature woman. And typically this is, someone, she's older, she listens to concerns, she may provide some advice or some assistance. It can speak of female relatives. It can also speak of females who are in authority positions. But to the left. Oh, okay. If this card, let me move them so you guys can see them, because I'm going to hold them up one at a time. If she were to the right of the Lover's card, it would mean that she's the lover. However, since she is to the left of the Lover's card, she's to the left of the family room, it means that she's an ex. She's a troublemaker. She is a meddler. She's causing conflict. She's causing strife. She's causing heartache. Okay. Okay. We're going to finish these other two cards and I'll tell you what they were just saying. Next card we have is the family room. And this really is, family room. Years ago, you would have your family room where you would welcome, you would greet people while you would have the front room. But your family room, you would greet them in the salon. You would greet them in the front. You wouldn't take them back to your family room. Your family room was more for privacy, for intimate moments. Your personal space. Now you notice no one's in this room. The room's empty. And then you have the card, the Lovers. And this is like what everyone wants. This is what everyone dreams about. It's really that true love, that romantic love of a lifetime, something that's profound, something that's built on love, loyalty, trust, sexual chemistry. I mean, the whole package, everything that you desire, that you find with someone. It also speaks of, trusting your intuition and your feelings. And, it's an indicator of falling in love. Indicator of true love. Now, what they were saying, as you know, again, it's like Lenormand said, these cards are all in what's the order and how they're played. If she were here, this would be talking about she's the lover that's going to be coming in. Since she's here, she's causing issues. She's blocking you from true love. You see how the room's like empty, no one's there. She's causing conflict. She's the ex. She's the one that a number of you are going like through a divorce with. Now, the interesting thing is, when it comes to her card, what they were saying is, it plays off of whatever is the card that's above her, talks about what needs to be done with her. And the interesting thing is, above her, you have the card release. So for those of you that they were talking about earlier that can't let go, you keep holding on to your ex. Like, they've heard your prayers that you want a love of a lifetime. They're trying to bring that to you with your divine feminine, but you're glaring at her and you won't let her in. You are not going to get it with your ex. You have to let your ex go. And some of you are in the process of doing that, which is why you're patiently waiting. Some of you are getting frustrated because you're waiting. Oh, that's funny. They said pick up and pull the card at the bottom of the deck. And you have adjudication. So for a number of you, you're going through court proceedings. You're going through divorce. Actually, that's interesting. See how her hair's all puffy and pulled up in the center? It's just like her hair all puffy and pulled up. The family room can also signify time. So a number of you keep wanting to know, when's this officially going to be done? When's this going to be done? When am I going to have to not deal with my ex anymore? So for a number of you, it's divorce proceedings. So for some of you, it's like a business. It's investments that you did with an ex. It could be a business that you started. It could be real estate. It could be property. It could even be an estate. Like there was an estate left to both of you that's being split. But you keep wondering, like, when is this going to be done? And some of you are wondering if it's going to turn out in your favor. It is going to turn out in your favor. You are going to find success. Autumn is coins in traditional tarot. The money, the things that you deserve, that are fairly and rightfully should be yours, you will be receiving. And it's about to wrap up. The family room, they're saying, when it talks about time, it talks about within the next month. So this, for a number of you, this court, you're going to receive the adjudication, the decision, the determination within the next month. Okay. Now, okay. These last two cards, these are what's recommended for you. And you have tolerance. You appreciate other points of view because you sense the love in everyone. And again, this is being open to other viewpoints. This is opening your mind up, being receptive, not being so, because for some of you, you like have beliefs and views and you are just not going to let those go. You are stuck to those. But with this awakening that you're going through, you're starting to realize some of the beliefs and the views and things that you've 100% thought were true. You never thought you would change your view. They're starting to change. Be tolerant for that. Be open for that. Don't be so rigid. They're saying be flexible. Things are changing. You are changing. You are evolving. You are becoming a better you. You are stepping into your divinity. You are stepping into your divine power. Many of you are just starting to realize that you have divine power. you're stepping into that. But with stepping into that, you are changing, you are growing, you are evolving, you're starting to see the truth. You need to allow yourself to see the truth. You also need to be tolerant of other people and their thoughts. Because for some of you, since you've like dug your heels in, it's like you don't want to hear what she has to say. You don't want to hear her thoughts, her viewpoint. And they're saying for some of you, you don't have the whole story. Just as there are things she doesn't know about you, there are things you don't know about her. But you have to be open and receptive to that. You can't be so rigid and stuck. So it also ties to, again, open up your heart. Open up to connection. And also, it's kind of a mix between green and blue. They're saying to open up to this final healing, stop the distractions, stop the things that are keeping you from doing that, and open up to communication. Blue is all about communication. Now, you have release, and this is all about releasing toxic people, people that are negative, people that are draining you, releasing people that have hurt you, disappointed you. And this is, you have to release your ex. Okay, they want me to read the book. See how this is like a branch? It almost looks like the peacock. You know, where was the peacock that we were talking about earlier? Oh, she's underneath here. But peacocks signify men. They also can signify arrogance and pride. So for some of you, you have held on to your ex simply out of pride because of the image of the two of you together. Because how will it look? How will it look to other people? Or because you just think that they make you look good. So for some of you, it could be someone that is, maybe they're very well known publicly, or maybe someone in their family is very well known publicly. And you just like that. You like the way that makes you feel, the way that makes you look. But that's not something of any substance. It's time to release that as well. Now let me... Okay, release that card. I'm not going to pick it up. It is time to release yourself from an ongoing negative attachment with someone who hurt you in the past. Even though you have no physical contact, this person continues to hurt you because you continue to give power to them through your thoughts. An energetic attachment still exists. On a conscious level, you may believe that you have already worked through this issue. However, on a heartfelt level, you still carry the hurt. Healing is a process which has many layers. It is possible to detach from the situation, yet the first step is to understand why it is important for you to let go of this issue. You are doing this for you and no one else. Also know that in releasing this issue, you are not condoning the person's actions or behavior. Rather, you are consciously choosing not to be a perpetual victim to his or her past actions. Realize that by holding on to this hurt, you are allowing that person to keep on hurting you. The following ritual may help you to forgive and release yourself from ongoing negative ties. You can perform this ritual yourself, but you may choose to seek help from a counselor who is familiar with this type of energy work. There are also many books available on this subject. So we're going to go through the process real quick. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and imagine the person or situation from which you wish to detach. Imagine both you and the other party surrounded by white light. Now invoke the energy and presence of Archangel Michael. Imagine both yourself and the other party energetically connected to each other by a blue cord of light. This is the negative attachment you wish to sever. Now imagine the blue cord being severed by a sword of blue light, which Michael holds. As the cord is cut, visualize the other party moving away from your life, carried by the hands of God, and feel yourself engulfed and protected by light and love. Give thanks to Archangel Michael for his love and help. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Now, for some of you that aren't familiar with energy work yet, you can go see an energy practitioner, someone that does Reiki, quantum touch, whatever you feel guided to, they can assist you with that. The other thing to do is call on Archangel Michael and ask him to cut the cords between you and her, you and your ex. You can also, because we are still underneath the full moon energy, you can write a letter to her. Write everything that she made you feel. And, you disappointed me by this, and you betrayed me by this, and everything that you feel, everything that you felt, just write that whole letter. I mean, you might end up with 5 pages, but just write. Get it all on paper. And then pray. Ask that God, and call on the big angels if you can. God, Jesus, Archangel Raphael, he does healing. Archangel Michael, he will cut those cords. He brings that warrior presence. But ask God, Jesus, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael to come and help you, as well as, God's angels who are watching over you. Ask that they come help you release all the feelings and everything from your letter and help you release her. And then read your letter. Ask that they help you release it, read it one last time, and then burn it. And you will find that will help you energetically free yourself. Now, for some of you, they are saying that you may need some help from an energy healer. Look online. Most places, even rural communities, have Reiki practitioners and energy medicine practitioners, and see who you're guided toward. Ask that the angels give you a sign. So say maybe you find someone online and you feel like, okay, I feel like I should go see them. Take a drive. And just ask, God, Jesus, angels, please give me a physical sign if yes, I should schedule an appointment with whomever you found online. They will give you an answer within seconds. So if you're like, please give me a sign if yes, I should go, or please give me a sign if I should not, whatever. But you can't just say, give me a sign about whether or not I should go, because that's not giving them clarity. You need to give me a sign for a yes or give me a sign with a no. Make sure you're clear with your questions, because if you're not clear with your questions, they won't give you an answer, or your answers won't be clear. But ask that they give you a sign, because for some of you, this connection with this person, they've hurt you repeatedly for years, and you have repeatedly gone back to them. It's because there is some karmic stuff from past lives, and some of them, there may need to be some deep possession work, because there is a spiritual war going on. So they're saying for some of you, this ex of yours has a spiritual hold on you, because when it comes to twin flames, you're here to bring God's love. You're filled with love. You're filled with light. There is a spiritual war going on right now. There really, truly is. And dark wants to keep twins from coming into union. The dark wants to keep twins from doing their mission. They want to keep them stuck. And so some of you, this ex is dark, or they have something dark attached to them that's trying to keep you stuck. So you're going to need a little help from an energy healer that can help assist you free yourself of this person. Because for a number of you, they're saying it's like you don't even know why you keep going back to her. Like for some of you, they're saying you don't even like her anymore. You can't even stand to be around her. But there's still this pull. That's because there's something dark that's pulling you in. You're going to need to recruit some help to free you from that. Now, at some point, you'll be opened up enough you don't need any help. You'll be able to do those things for other people. Now, okay, let's pull the final all energies for the two of you, and then we're going to wrap this up. Okay, so we have 8 of spring, stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, and sudden events or changes. Then we have 8 of winter, and at the bottom it says you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. This card's all about, the illusion of feeling like we're trapped. It's about taking back our personal power. See how she's like stuck in the cold. Everything's all iced over. And she's like on this little piece of ice. And she looks all sad and lonely, like she's been out in the cold and her heart's cold. And she feels stuck. But it's just an illusion. Because this chunk of ice, she feels there's nowhere for her to go, but it's just a tiny little step for her to get onto the mainland. It's just a little tiny step. So it's just her in her own head. At any point, one step and she's off that. But a number of you are feeling stuck. You're feeling you can't get out. You feel that things aren't moving forward. That is an illusion. That is an illusion. So for some of you, it really is just changing your mindset. For some of you, there's also some action steps that you have to take. So for some of you, you're just like, oh, I'm stuck. Things aren't moving. Well, have you called your attorneys? Have you signed your paperwork? Or for those of you, oh, I just feel like other areas in life are not moving forward. Well, are you scheduling appointments with clients? Are you teaching the yoga classes? Are you taking the courses to get your certifications? What are the things that you are not doing that will free you? Because you're not stuck. Winter it's all about swords. It's about mind. There's nothing keeping you stuck but yourself. But as soon as you take that little step, as soon as you take that action step, as soon as you realize you're not trapped at all, you're keeping yourself trapped, you can free yourself. And for a number of you, you then will be able to melt. Because a number of you, you're closed off. You feel like your heart is of ice. Because in winter, everything gets cold and it dies off. Some of you are just feeling kind of like dead inside and you're feeling stuck. But you're not. You're not stuck. You need to see that. You need to realize that. You need to take that step, that action step, and then you'll thaw out and things will become beautiful. Then you'll have like fireworks of the summer. Because the other overall energy, both sides of the house, you are about to have a lot of things during this time frame start popping at one time. It's kind of like popcorn. You throw some popcorn in a pan on the stove, or you can even put it in the microwave, and you wait and you wait and you wait, and it seems like it's not happening. And all of a sudden it starts pop, 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 all at once. And then bam, you've got a pan full of yummy popcorn. A lot of you are already under stress because you feel like a lot's happening. There's going to be even more, because these things that you have been wanting to finally move forward are going to start moving forward rapidly. And these things that you've been praying for and you've been asking for and you've been longing for some of you for years, they're going to start coming into fruition, but they're going to be coming in simultaneously, one right after the other. Pop, 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 pop. Don't be overwhelmed, because spring is all about, it's typical to roads, it's wands, it's fire, it's action. Like fireworks. Look at this beautiful stuff. These are the things that you want. These are the things you've prayed for. These are the things that you desire. Open up and embrace those things. It's just going to be a little bit of work. You're going to have a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it. Between now and the end of September, be prepared. Again, you're on that turbulent flight. You're coming in for a landing. It doesn't matter how ugly that storm is. It doesn't matter how much sleet and snow and hail is coming at you. That plane is going to land, because God is going to make sure it's going to land. All you need to do is hold on. Take those action steps along the way, and know that between now and the end of September, you're going to be pretty busy. But ask for help. You have a divine team assisting you. Don't forget that, because again, the angels, they will not help you unless you ask for their help. And the thing to remember with angels, we don't worship angels. We don't praise angels. That's all for God. That's God's stuff. But the angels glorify God by helping us. And they can be with everyone all at the same time. So don't fear that if you ask for their help that you're taking them away from someone that may be in more need, because you're not. They're omnipresent. They can be with everyone at one time. So don't ever fear that. Ask for their help with everything, big or small. Because by them helping you, that is how they glorify God. So they want to help you. But we have free will. They are not going to step in and help you unless you ask for their help. The only time they're going to do that is if you are going to die and it's not your time yet to die. They're going to step in and stop it. But other than that, they're not going to help you. They will sit and face palm all day long and think, oh my gosh, why won't he ask? Or why does she keep doing it on her own? Why won't she ask for help? It's going to be a stressful time. But you have a whole team to help you. Ask for their help. Ask for their help, big and small. Ask for their help multiple times all day long. I'm shameless. I ask for their help when, I need something big, but I also ask for their help if maybe I go to the mall and I'm like, I want a good parking spot. Angels, can you help me get a good parking spot? And they do. A car will pull out right up front in the first parking spot. But I know that they enjoy helping me. It's how they glorify God. And I love getting their help because it makes life so much easier. Make things easy on yourselves. It's going to be a stressful month. You're going to take that step. You're going to free yourself. And things are just going to start popping left and right. Ask for them to help you during this intense transition time, because you're going to be thankful when you get on the other end. Okay, so we are going to start with Divine Feminine. Think of a question real quick. We will pull one angel answer card. You have Compromise and Masculine. Think of one question real quick, and I'll read them here in a second. You have Remain Positive. Now, okay, Feminine. Okay. Compromise. Hopefully you can see that. She's balancing 2 scales. Balance seems to be a key theme. We ladies just need to stay balanced and it'll all be good. Okay. Compromise. In order to create a happy outcome for this situation, you will find it necessary to compromise. Allow yourself some time to become clear about what is truly important to you. Also take note of matters where you would be open to changing your position. Work towards an agreement where everyone wins. Be open to cooperation that would allow you to get what you need while also assisting others in fulfilling their desires. Be objective about finding a balance between respecting everyone's viewpoints and still being true to your own. And gents, let's see here. Okay. Remain positive. Hopefully you see that. You get this angel image offering you a bunch of flowers, and they're magical and all lit up. Okay, the angels are asking you to keep an optimistic attitude. There is a very positive momentum beginning to build toward the creation of your desires. You're speeding your dreams along by maintaining a cheerful and confident demeanor. It may seem as though your plans are taking a long time to manifest, but very soon you will see a change. Don't allow yourself to lose hope when your dreams are so close to coming true. So I hope that helps all of you. Hang in there. It's going to be busy, but it's going to be good. It's going to be totally worth it. Don't forget to ask for your help, and stay tuned, because there's been a lot of twin flame messages popping up in our weekly readings each week. So you'll still be able to get a little bit of guidance in all of those, and hopefully we will not have to continue to hear the same story repeated anymore. And I wish you all an amazing, essentially a month and a half. It's going to be almost 2 months, but I hope it is filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.